The rain always reminded me of my father. He loved to watch a storm unfold. My father always loved cars. It's always been a dream of my brother and I's to complete his favorite, his prized 1969 Camaro. Call Joey. Hello. You ready?
Yeah. It's gonna be a while, but it'll be done.
Yeah. One day. One day. What was Vendal like growing up?
Nuts. He was always happy, always smiling, life of the party, very outgoing, talked endlessly.
Yeah, he was fun. He was always smiling, always on the move, always working on something. I used to say some of our best conversations when I was sitting on the step in the garage and he was working on the Camaro, because that was the only time I could talk to him is if I went out in the garage. I learned a lot about cars doing that. But yeah, he was always fun. We had a lot of friends that we hung around with. Yeah, he was the life of the party. We were at a Memorial Day party, and the guy that had the party had this Enduro, I think it was called. It was an off-on-road dirt bike, and he took it for a ride, and he got hit by a car and destroyed his knee, shattered his kneecap. And he had pain every day from it. But I also think that's where the Percocet came into play, too. Yeah, that definitely was the first downfall. I think it just spiraled from there. Then other things came into the picture, and it just spiraled from there. I always knew that he loved us, and I know he did, and I know that he wouldn't have wanted to go, but he was just sad and dark. Couldn't find his way out.
The day my dad committed suicide, it definitely changed me forever. It was early in the morning, around 5 o'clock. He left before everybody else woke up and went off to the woods with, I'm not gonna be super descriptive, but different types of items to make a noose. Me and Joey and a couple other neighborhood kids would always have like Nerf battles in these woods and stuff. And of course, yeah, or of course, ride four-wheelers and dirt bikes and stuff. So yeah, my relationship with my brother is all right. Kinda now. He annoyed me a lot growing up. He still kinda annoys me to this day. But at the end of the day, I still love him. And I do feel bad for times I could have done things better. I still think I was a pretty good brother, at least. I hope so. With the next coming weeks here, let's try to get like a little bit of a to-do list going, I guess. What would you do from this point?
To start, I would probably say put the rear end in it so you can at least have it on wheels, so it's at least movable. You just have to be very careful, like pushing it around and stuff, because the whole rear end's all.
But don't we have it too close to the wall already right now?
Yeah.
That's one of the big issues.
You can't really get to the passenger side at all because it's so close, and you can't really move it unless it's on wheels. So I guess you'd have to start with that. put all that in, and then you can move it over, move it out.
Mm-hmm. I mean, do you think it's structurally stable enough to even just move away from the wall? Even if, like, we don't put it on, like, a,
Gently.
say, some sort of dolly stand? Yeah, of course, gently.
I'd push it from the front. I wouldn't even bother trying to do anything from the rear.
Do you think we'd be able to do that next week at all?
Maybe.
Even if it was just like, I don't know, you get a group of your friends over.
I'd have to see what bolts I can find for the rear end, because I know I have to see if there's U-bolts, the blocks and everything, the bolts to hold it to the frame of the car itself.
Yeah, I mean, whatever help that you think we need to get, you know, we can obviously try to get. Maybe even text Ron or Uncle Pat.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'd want to help us just at least.
And then we found that bolt list for every bolt that goes on the car,
oh,
where
wow.
it goes, how many goes there.
That's pretty crazy. I didn't know we had that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been interested in it since my freshman year. I heard about the amount of money they cost and stuff. But I really could never sell it. You know, it's all I have left of my dad. And it would just be cool to see on the road again. So I don't work on cars that much right now, especially not my own. I used to work on my old Beetle a lot when I was in high school, mostly because those engines were simple. It's like a 30 horsepower engine. You know, it doesn't compare to anything to what this Camaro could be. I mean, first off, my Beetle was fully assembled. The Camaro is just a frame, you know? And then on top of that, their motors can reach like 400 horsepower. So, yeah, I'm really not sure how we can, I mean, I'm not sure how to build the Camaro. Joey's really the key to all this. We brought down part after part from the attic. Some were easy to tell, and some I honestly had no clue about. So I called my dad's friend Ron to help us look through the pieces and give us an idea of what we're about to get ourselves into.
I believe the other one's upstairs. I'm not sure where it's at.
It might be under it.
Do you remember exactly what happened that made him want to tear it all apart?
Unfortunately, when you buy something like this, it's this age. No matter if he bought this 20 years ago or if he bought this, 5 months ago, they're all they're rusted, they're torn apart to be taken apart, to be restored, to put back to the way that you want them from the day that they were bought. This is the biggest market in the industry right now. Anybody getting into fixing cars, but it's good to see this car. I haven't seen this car in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, you think it's possible still, right, to get it all back together?
Car's a long ways.
Long ways.
Possibilities, yes. Financially, that would be the question.
Yeah.
To be dead honest with you, and I told Joey this as I was looking at this car. This car is probably $50,000 away.
Really?
Straight
oh
out.
God.
This is with favors. This is with people. This car's out there. It's a ways away.
Yeah.
Is it possible? Absolutely. Anything's possible.
So, something I like to do every morning, I mean, not every morning, really, but most mornings, especially a morning where I'm feeling particularly down, I like to make tea. It's one of my biggest things. Today we're doing a blend of I love lemon and green tea. This is just because I like the flavor. The lemon is because my therapist told me it may help with depression. But we'll see. We'll see. I remember going to therapy when I was probably 13 or so. And one of the big things my mom told me was the therapist told me that I needed to start talking to my mom. And when I told my mom this, she was very much like, yes, you definitely need to talk to me. So I had to promise to her to talk to her from there on about how I'm feeling and stuff. But I noticed Joey's kind of making the same mistakes I am, at least. I mean, I think he's talking to my mom, but I mean, I don't know if it's selfish or not, but I wish Joey would talk to me more. So how many projects are you working on right now? School and, your auto.
Probably 5.
5 projects right now?
Yeah, I got 4-wheelers, dirt bikes, stuff at school.
What do you Why do you even like working on motors so much?
I don't know. It's I guess just because not everyone understands it, and then one day I kind of just started messing with it, and I started to understand it and comprehend it more, and now it's easy, and I don't have any problems really doing it.
What are your thoughts on the Camaro?
It's gonna need a lot of money and a lot of work, but I feel like I'm willing to do it and take the time to do it.
He was showing us all of his projects, so I thought he was more than capable of helping. I mean, within the first 2 weeks of recording, he took apart his own truck for the hell of it. Didn't even tell me until I saw it was just a frame outside. Something with Joey still felt off, though. I wasn't sure if it was me or the camera. How did this happen?
I got mad one night.
Okay. Do you see any similarities between him and Joey?
Absolutely.
How so?
There's so many. It's uncanny. Like, Joey acts like him without even realizing that he's acting like him. He does things that Vendal did. Like, you know, like scaling the door jamb. Vendal used to do stuff like that all the time. Like a little spider monkey.
And now, what was Joey like growing up?
A hellion. Totally different kid. The king of power naps, 20-minute power naps. Always into something, always into everything. He just wanted to be next to me all the time. Ornery. Always getting himself into trouble in school. Hated homework. School was terrible. I used to have to make up a song for him every morning. Like I said, two totally different kids.
He annoyed me, but I always loved him. When I started shooting this documentary, he seemed up to the task. What you been up to recently?
Nothing much really. I usually just come home from work, and if I don't mess with either one of the dirt bikes or the truck outside, I'll come home and I'll play my Xbox or something.
You know, it's funny. You have a lot to say about your go-karts, but when we talk about the Camaro, you're pretty quiet.
I don't know. Like, I guess because the go-karts, I just kind of, like, understand them as of right now. The Camaro, I've looked at, and some stuff I don't really know where to start with, or...
I mean, it's reasonable. It's like 3 generations behind us, you know?
Yeah.
Because, like, he was so young when my dad passed away that I envied it in a way, because he didn't get to make that much of a connection. And he didn't know him that well. He didn't have that many memories with him. So I never wanted him to go through something like that, like he's going through now with his best friend, you know? Yeah.
One of Joey's friends committed suicide 3 weeks ago. And it's been rough on the boys. You know, they're all 17, 18. And they're really young to have to experience something like this. So.
What would you like to tell us about your friend Jackson?
He was a really good kid. Big-hearted, do anything for anyone. Yeah.
I know my dad loved Joey a lot, especially. Yeah, sometimes I would even be jealous of that. I mean, to be honest, he doesn't remember much of his dad. Like, I've even talked to him about it, and he just doesn't know a lot about him. Which brings me to the topic of these tapes I found recently. And I really would like to show that to Joey, you know? Because he, just like me, probably didn't remember his dad's voice up until hearing that, that clip. part made me so sad watching it when I found it.
Oh, look at his smile. Look at his smile. He enjoyed you guys so much.
I know. Yeah.
I felt life was so hard then. It was so easy. It was so easy, but the four of us together.
Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna cut these cameras.
All right, Jimbo. Do you remember that smile? Yeah. Did you see yourself in that smile? Because you look just like him. You look just like your baby boy.
I think we really gotta take some time to not focus on the Camaro. And just kind of have fun, you know? I really want to go fishing again. I haven't been fishing since my dad passed away. Joey loves to fish, so I figured it'd be a good way for us to both kind of ease our brains, ease our minds, you know, calm down. Because I think that's really what we need right now. We need a moment to just relax and hang out. Just be normal brothers again. I think that's what we need the most. And that's where the project is now. It would have been great to have seen the car have some sort of progress, but I just have to be realistic. I only have the equipment for 3 months, and that's not a lot of time for a first-time mechanic to build a car from the frame up. Nor is it a lot of time for a first-time director to make a film. Now I look forward to the future, to when Joey is confident in himself and we can work on this together.